Hello everyone and welcome back to my bookish little corner of YouTube. I am here today to tell you about the books I read in August. I am actually filming my August wrap up. I actually read 7 books in August and I have no idea how that happened because I was and still am exhausted from July. I've been a barista for the summer and the summer months are so hectic. Hi Nana. Yeah, hi. Opinions. In July is the most hectic month, at least for the chain where I worked at. I have in total worked there for 4 years now. And summer is the worst. I shit you not. We have a huge skiing event in the winter, but summer is worse. Summer is worse. So I have no idea how I managed to read 7 books in August. I really don't. But yeah. I read 2 paperbacks and 5 ebooks because my physical amount of books is way smaller than my ebooks. Or well, the list of ebooks that I own. But it was a nice reading month anyway. It was nice to just kind of chill with my reading. I don't know. Because oh gosh, you should because in July I kind of felt like I had to read as many books as I did, because it was like my escape from the hectic and the stress of everything. So slowing down in August was really nice. One of the books I read was actually a reread, and the 2 paperbacks, the 2 physical books I read, oh my god, they left me hungover. Not gonna lie, I ended up in a small slump afterwards. I have no idea how I managed to read anything afterwards, and I had to force myself through the last couple of books, even though they were arcs, because yes, I read more arcs this month. I have 2 arcs that I read in August. But yeah, shall we take the cat and dive into it? Yeah, you're gonna be in this video too. You were in the last one too. But the first book I read in August was The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, and it's a Percy Jackson. It's the first Percy Jackson book, and this is the reread I read for this month, and it was so cozy. The movies, I tend to rewatch the movies as like comfort movies because I've seen them so many times, so I know what's going to happen, you know. And I think, don't quote me on this, and I think there's science behind the fact that neurodivergent people or people with anxiety prefer to rewatch things they've already seen because they know what's going to happen. So that's what I do. But I read The Lightning Thief when I was younger, when I was like preteen, early teens. So I know that there's differences between the books and the movies, but I was like, okay, but let's see how big the differences actually are. And yeah, the age thing bothers me the most. Not gonna lie, it bothers me the most. Because in the movies, it's like he's 15 and 16, whereas in the books he's 12. They should have thought about that. And I heard that they're making a TV series of it now, and I'm actually excited. I might watch that. But yeah, I gave The Lightning Thief 4 stars out of 5. I don't really know why it just didn't hit that 5-star mark for me. But it was such a cozy read, and it's always so nice to find and revisit characters and stories that you know already, because it's like coming home to a family. It's nice. Are you gonna be like this throughout the entire thing? You are, aren't you? Okay, I guess that's fine. I mean, you too. It was really cozy. And we are probably going to get a lot of meowing now because there is now 2 cats in my room. Exactly. Then the second book was actually, I'm not sure I can like count it in as a book because it was an audiobook and it was just 45 minutes long. But it was really, I mean, it was a 3-star listen. So it was okay. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was just like, oh, okay, let's start this for it to keep me company. But it was Chronicles of Magic, Candle Magic by Cassandra Eason. And I mean, I do a lot of candle magic in my own practice because it's very low effort, and as a chronically ill person, I don't always have the energy to do bigger and grander things. So I thought that it would be really interesting to read slash listen to a book about kind of practice that I do a lot personally. But I was disappointed because the book contained more spells than actual information. And I mean, I can understand that it's hard to find information about a practice considering how witchcraft has been treated throughout the decades and the years and stuff. And especially about candles, because there's no way you can find an ancient candle anywhere to prove what happened. But I was still kind of expecting more information than spells. But all I got was basically how-to spells and color coordinations and stuff. Don't get me wrong, it was nice, but it was not what I was after. So I got 3 stars. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Then, oh my lord, then we have the 2 paperbacks. I read a duology written by Marissa Mayer. I read Gilded and Cursed. And when I say that I devoured these books, I devoured these books. I couldn't put them down. I refused to put them down because I just had to know what happened all the time. And I mean, they were, besides the ACOTAR series, they are the only books I've annotated so far. Or well, finished and annotated. And I couldn't stop. Oh my god. And then I had moments when I was reading that was so intense that I forgot to annotate, and then I was rambling to a friend on Discord about it, and I realized that I hadn't annotated parts that I wanted to annotate, so I'm like, how can I not have done this? But oh my god, the amount of tabs that are in my books. I shit you not. I have to show you. These are my editions, okay? I'm a paperback person. Most of my bookshelf is paperback. But I mean... And look at these sprayed edges. Look at these sprayed edges of my Cursed. It's so gorgeous. But anyway, I was gonna show you. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't think you can see properly, but the amount of sticky notes I have. I'll insert a photo around here somewhere to show you, but I can't. It was so good. I devoured the entire thing, and usually when I read a series, I finish the first book, then I read something else, and then I start the second book, and then I read something else, and so on and so forth, because that way I make the series last. But as soon as I finished Gilded, I started reading Cursed, because I had to know what was going to happen. I had to know what was going to happen. Cyrilda is an amazing female main character, and Gild is just perfect, and the bickering between Cyrilda and the Earl King, and even the bickering between Gild and Cyrilda in the first book, is just awesome. Okay, I can't recommend these books enough. I even got my friend down in Australia to buy the books because I was rambling so much about it, but they are so good. I have zero regrets about buying them, even though it was very impulsive. I have zero regrets about reading them, and I will recommend these 2 books for the rest of my life. I kid you not. They are... if I could give them more than 5 stars, I would give them more than 5 stars. They are that good. I can't stop. Yes. Yes, okay, let's just leave it there. Yes. After I read those 2, though, I read my first arc of the month. I read The Sapphire Oath by Melanie Davis. And if you watched my July wrap-up, you know that in July I read another of her arcs. I read Graveyard Shift, and I really like her writing style. It's very fast-paced, and she is very good at writing twists and turns that you don't see coming. So I was very excited because I know that this story, the Nimra series, is very close. I mean, all of her stories are close to her heart, but this one has a special spot. And I was excited to read it, and it did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, yeah, it was, the pacing, I mean, it was a 4-star read. The pacing was a bit fast. It wasn't like bad fast, but it was a bit fast. Not as... I mean, The Graveyard Shift was also pretty fast paced, but in that book I can kind of see it easier than I can in The Sapphire Oath, because I honestly wanted The Sapphire Oath really to last longer. And the actual Sapphire Oath that the male main character says to the female main character, it's chef's kiss. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. The actual Sapphire Oath, it's so gorgeous. But yeah, the Sapphire Oath by Melanie Davis was a 4-star read, and I think it was like the pacing that did it for me, that kept it away from being a 5-star read. And the pacing was off simply because I wanted it to last longer. So it's not anything wrong on her end. It's just I wanted it to last longer, but I switched through it because it was really good. Okay, it was really good. And after that, I actually read another witchy book. I read The Magical Writing Grimoire by Lisa Marie Basile. And I have actually read her other books too. She has published 2 other witchcraft books, and then she has written another book, but I haven't read that one. I have only read her witchcraft books. But this one, so we're gonna get deep for a while, bear with me. But in February I went through trauma therapy, and my trauma therapy evolved around a lot of writing. I spent my trauma sessions writing about my trauma. And the Magical Writing Grimoire is basically a love letter to the healing properties of writing. And she states in the book that the book isn't just for witches and magical practitioners. It's basically for anyone that wants to get like tips and tricks on how their writing can help them heal in various ways. So after my trauma therapy and I stumbled upon this book, I was like, yes, okay, I need to read this. Because reading her books is so cozy. It's like sitting down with your best friend that you haven't met in ages, and you just sit there with a cup of tea and you just have a good time. It's so cozy to sit and read her books. And I mean, everyone can benefit from writing. So yeah, it was a 4-star read. I don't know why I can't put my finger on it, but I just didn't quite reach that mark. The other 2 books I read off of her are also 4-star reads, but she is so cozy. She seems to be such a lovely author, and I'm like, yes, please, I would love to be your friend. But yeah, she stumbles upon, I mean, she touches on aspects about writing that people tend to overlook, like how when you write a diary, you write things down to let them go. Like how when you write a wish on a piece of paper, you manifest. And things like that, things that people tend to overlook, she touches on in that book. And it was such a cozy book. It was such a cozy book. Such a good read. The last book I read in August was The Second Arc. And it was Hearts of the Lost by F.R. Withers. And it was another 4-star read. And the way I fell in love with this book, I stumbled upon her profile on Instagram and saw that she had applications open for her arc of this book. And I saw a reel she had made with the vibes of the story, and it had me hooked. So I had to have it. I had to read it. I read it and I loved it. The male main character gets possessive in his first chapter, and I sat there reading it and I was just yes, because we love ourselves a possessive book boyfriend, right? Ridge is the city's brute, and Diana is the city's, or well, the region's queen. And I don't want to spoil too much, but it is such a good book. It's such a good book. I need to change the rating from a 4-star to a 5-star, really, because it's really that good. Ridge gets hired to go with Ayana when she's traveling her region as her bodyguard, more or less. And they end up doing things, and things end up happening, and things get steamy. And I have to say that F.R. Withers was really good with the whole sex part, the whole smut part, because she did a good job. She did a good job. Trying to not spoil anything is really hard, but she did a really good job. I would recommend this book to a lot of people, actually. No matter what you usually read, I would recommend this book because it's just really Yes, you did good. I doubt she'll watch this, but you did good. I'm gonna have to write and tell her that, that she did good. But yeah, those are the books I read in August. It was a good month. It was a nice month. I'm excited to see how my September reading month will be, considering I'm currently unemployed and looking for jobs. So, yay me. But all in all, I read 2,149 pages in August. I am ridiculously pleased with myself with the amount of pages I read, simply because exhausted. I wasn't expecting... Especially after finishing Gilded and Cursed, I was like, I'm never gonna touch another book again. It was the same when I read ACOTAR. Not gonna lie, when I finished A Court of Silver Flames, oh my god, I'm stiff. Ooh. But when I finished A Court of Silver Flames, I didn't think that I was gonna touch a book for like ages and ages. And now I have the same feelings after I finished Gilded and Cursed, and I was not prepared for it. I was not here for it. But it happened. Here we are. It's fine. I have already started reading some of my September TBRs, so that's something. I'm going to make some changes for my reading corner, so that's exciting. But yeah, I should probably get to it. So thank you so much for spending time with me, and Nana, who's still on the floor bumping against the camera stand. So, you know, sorry. I will see you guys in the next one. Sorry. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. So have fun, enjoy your reads, and take care.